Hello and welcome to the long view. I'm Jon Jordan. Today we're doing a comparison video. So we are comparing, as you can see on the screen, CSR Racing 2, the #1 racing game, has been out for over a year now and has been the #1 racing game since its release, and Carmageddon crashes. So not a head-to-head comparison, although that's an interesting point which we'll come to later. But kind of looking to see how games like CSR Racing have kind of really defined free-to-play meta game, and how other games are kind of copying it, but maybe not doing such a good job as they think they're doing. Before we get onto that, very quickly, you can see below we now have a Patreon, so you can go and check that out at the long view, long spelt with a double O, and similarly you can follow us on Twitter. Keep up to date with what we're doing, and with the Patreon you can support us from $1 a month, help us out, get some exclusive videos as well. So well worth checking out. But let's kick on with this comparison then. So it was kind of interesting to me that Carmageddon, which have done mobile games before, but this is obviously something where they've looked at CSR Racing and decided let's take some of that success and see if we can bring it to our form of game. So obviously Carmageddon is a very different sort of game. This is CSR Racing 2, so I'll just quickly kind of run through bits of comparison of the game, and we can kind of swap between the two to compare. So CSR Racing 2, as we can see here, incredibly high, incredibly polished game. As we can see from the cars, incredibly polished. So going here, this is how we go quite detailed kind of upgrade. Obviously, it's based on real-life cars, so they have that kind of level of detail. We can see here, lots of different things to upgrade: tires, transmission, engine, turbo intake, nitrous oxide. And whenever you upgrade stuff, you can see all these different kind of stats for every combination as well. So, very complicated. You can see at the bottom, obviously, there's a tuning system as well. So you can go through and tune your car. So you can tune it in so it can kind of perform differently at the start to the end. This is a very complex race simulation. Obviously, in terms of the driving simulation, it's not a simulator, but in terms of the actual cars, very complex. And here we can go and change the paint job on various bits of the car, and that feeds into this freshness kind of metric that gives you extra kind of XP effectively. So there we go. Lovely car. Let's go in and see Carmageddon crashes. So obviously Carmageddon crashes is not based on real life cars, but we can see immediately the graphical difference is stark. Not to say this is an ugly game, but in comparison to the incredible quality of CSR Racing 2, that's got two cars in Carmageddon crashes. That's the original one you get, which has been totally and this is the one I've currently got. So obviously different sort of style, but equally you can see we're not seeing all our cars in the garage. This is kind of quite a graphically limited element, and you can see when we go to the upgrade system as well. The stats are there in a way. But those are the stats for the car, and the basic kind of presentation of these things is very much degraded. It's a very different experience, obviously, because they're not relying on real cars and people really caring about winning these cars. And you can see with CSR Racing, what people really care about is having a garage of cars. That's why they have this garage system. So I haven't played CSR 2 particularly very much, but I've got 4 cars. Okay, so let's go on now to do a race. So we can see here, this is CSR Racing 2's kind of race structure. You can see there's a lot going on. So there's daily battles there. There's a Prestige Cup for Porsche, so they have these events. They've done stuff with Lamborghini, doing stuff with Ferrari later in the year. There's a crew battle. So the crew battle is kind of the narrative that you're racing these crews, and as you defeat each member, I've got to defeat Ashley now 3 times. Get more currency as I do that. There's ladders. There's kind of obviously PvP, live races. There's a lot of different stuff in there. There's lots of different ways. There's always something to do, basically. There's lots of different things you can do. If we go into crashes, you can see it's again how where the inspiration has come from. So again, a kind of city map, but there's not a lot going on. It's pretty simple what you can do. It's not kind of enticing in the same way. It's functional, absolutely functional, I guess that's maybe what we'll come to the conclusion with Carmageddon is a functional version of CSR Racing 2. But is that functionality, is that enough? So let's come back in and do a race in CSR Racing 2. So CSR Racing wasn't the first drag racing mobile game, but it was the kind of one that kind of really ramped up the graphics. So here we go, this is just a daily race, so this isn't a car that I own, it's a M4 Coupe, so we're feathering the clutch to get it in the green zone, to get a perfect start, and then we're, every time the needle goes into the green zone, we're just changing doing the gears, and I've just hit nitrous oxide to give me a boost. And you can see it's kind of, perfect shifts and perfect starts, you get extra reward, extra currency, which helps you level up. But basically it's about winning, as you can see here, there's my bonus. Jess is the mechanic, who kind of takes you through in a tutorial type way. So there we go, all presented really nicely, side-by-side racing, and I won my race, and I feel like, yeah, excellent, got some more resources, go back in my garage and look at my lovely car. Okay, going to Carmageddon crashes. Clearly this is, Carmageddon is about crashing into things in a slightly, in an incredibly bloody way. So in a nice twist, this is the nicest thing about the game, is you're not racing side by side, you're racing head. It's all about impact. So you can see here, that's the opponent, it's me, so head to head. So again, very feathering exactly the same way, much easier in this game. And then you have this little thing here where you because that's Carmageddon, and then you just have these. You see the shifting zones are much different, much simpler way. But then, it's not side by side, it's head to head. And there we go, head to head. There we go, have the collision. It's not very clear for me, from these collisions that I won that one, because I went up in the air, and I think that's kind of a bit of a graphic thing. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised with Carmageddon that the crashes aren't better, more exciting, more spectacular. I think that's something that clearly they're not going to copy CSR Racing 2, and they haven't got the level of developer expertise. Not it's a smaller company, haven't got all that kind of amount of people doing it. But the thing about Carmageddon crashes is the crashes. That's what all their energy should be focused on, and they don't really do that, I don't think. Have these kind of nice ideas as well. There's a sponsorship thing, so you can kind of get a boost, and have these kind of pups, which are kind of items, consumable items, which can help you in a race, in a crash. But again, these are all hard currency items, so it's very, like I say, a hard monetization system. So there we go, Carmageddon crashes. It's not a bad game. I don't think it's got a lot of replayability, partly because you don't really care about the cars. The cars aren't really retailed in the same way they are in CSR Racing 2. There's no option for you to kind of, like we had in those daily races with CSR, we could play a higher rated car and then we go, oh, I might want that M4 Coupe. Don't really have that. And CSR Racing 2 is clearly all about the cars. It's a beautiful thing. The cars are very well presented. It's all about getting more cars, faster cars. There's always new kind of limited edition cars. Carmageddon crashes, the cars are a cipher for the crashes, and it's kind of odd that those crashes aren't made more of, really. So that's kind of my comparison. I guess it's not wrong for people to go and kind of copy things from successful games, but what they really need to focus on is not that those elements will not give you success. You need to think what makes your game unique, and that's what I'm surprised maybe that Carmageddon crashes isn't more about that. They haven't understood what's the unique selling point of their game. So there we go, just a kind of quick comparison between two games that kind of jumped out at me. This is the kind of thing we do on the long view. We like playing free-to-play mobile games and doing videos about the games we like, and sometimes about kind of design issues and that kind of stuff. So that's what this video is about. Thanks for watching it. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube to get all our videos, and also, as I say, you can check us out on Twitter, and also check out our Patreon and help us out to do more videos like this. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.
Hello, and thanks for watching to the very end of the video. If you have any comments, please put them in the comments box. We love to read your comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, the subscribe button is below. And don't forget to check out some of our other videos. There's two really good examples on the screen right now.